Worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. All right. Man, folks, thank you all. I love you all. Truly, truly I do. Please continue to like, share, subscribe. Let's continue to build this worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. All right. Yeah, check out, make sure anytime you come to the channel, you stop in and check out the community section on the channel. Powerful information there always. Remember to check out my Twitter feed. Check out all my music on the streaming platforms, all the popular streaming platforms. Yeah, my album, PLR New Paradigm, right? Check out the whole album. And please comment. Let me know how you like that music, that high vibe music. Word life. All right. Well, thank you all, folks. This is a interesting topic that I wanted to talk about quickly here. I touched on previously in another video, a couple of videos actually, where I talked about frenemies, sacrifices, I forget the name of the video, but it talked about those things, right? Parasites and so forth. Individuals being compromised, right? Meaning that their consciousness no longer in control of their vessel, right? So a couple of things on that subject that I wanted to chip in some info and add. First of all, how can you tell, right? If someone you know, a friend, associate, even family member, right, may in fact be compromised in that way, that their consciousness is no longer in control of steering their ship, so to speak, right? No longer in control of what their physical vessel actually does. So one of the biggest ways of telling that, right, folks, is behavior changes, right? Personality changes. Not that we don't all grow and evolve, right? I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about sharp and contrasting dramatic changes and very negative changes, right? You know, someone who used to like to really listen to melodious, cool music, like somebody used to listen to jazz or something like that, or really smooth R&B, all of a sudden now they're listening to some really rugged music with some violent and really negative themes intrinsic throughout the music, right? Or if you are talking about a person who used to wake up and greet the day with excitement and be that person always greets you and have a nice positive attitude from the onset of the day. And now they've switched to, they wake up in this negative attitude like every day, searching for something to complain about or argue about. That's a pretty stark and drastic behavioral change. Things of that nature, right? Where you look and you've known this person for some time, and just observing them, him or her, over, you know, a new stretch of time, you see a definite difference, right? That's not to say that these things always, you know, are the result of someone's vessel being compromised, but they certainly are telling signs that could be the case, right? So you want to investigate there. I think you start to get into some more telling signs with the things that they cannot tolerate, right? For example, you folks can look back through my library and find a video on how to make high vibrational frequency holy water, right? Your own high vibrational frequency water. Well, if you do that with strong intent, right? and your consciousness successfully directs that energy into that water, that's something they can't be around. They won't like you doing it, for one. And the least you'll get is a frown. The least you'll get is a frown, right? You might get smooth cussed out, which would be for no reason, because why would they have any problem with you doing anything to your water, right? Not around them. Another thing, frequencies, certain sounds, right? Sonics have a lot to do with this, folks. A lot to do with this. And we'll find out that sonics have a lot to do with a lot more than we think, because everything is in a vibrational state, right? So that means it has a vibrational frequency, right? The same with these low vibrational frequency energies or entities that are compromising folks. There's a threshold for them as well, right? In fact, if you look, on YouTube, there are certain words you can put, I think, like Archon killing frequency or something like that. If you search, you'll find these frequencies where they actually show a picture of, well, presumably one of these parasites actually struggling when it's exposed to that frequency and then ultimately dying. Right, so it's actually quite interesting. But yeah, so that's something that's useful. But the most telling thing and the most potent thing that disrupts any alternate influence on a person's conscience or who they are or something that's compromising them is when that person is around another person whose pineal is vibrating at a very high frequency and is in fact at a high resonant frequency, a very high resonance. They can't stand being around a person like that. And their behavior will depict that. From the moment that person steps in the room or even gets close. And that I can attest for, folks. I have experienced it. Some of the most unexpected, fantastic reactions, right? And fantastic in meaning that it's like unbelievable that folks have done just me entering the room. I've had people get up out of their chairs, looking at me with the most vile, that old saying of looks could kill, right? I'd have been dead in their eyes, right? Because they looking at me like they got the most vile hatred for me that there possibly could be. And I've done nothing but walk into the room, right? Or on the bus, right? Or in a store. I mean, literally, I've experienced this in just about every setting you could think of, walking down the street, in cars. I've had cars pass me by on the street and I'm just walking and I see the people all of a sudden turn to me and just start screaming and hollering at the top of their voice. Sometimes they're close enough that I can hear them screaming and hollering through the vehicle, cussing me out. Like, wow, I'm walking down the street, minding my business. Folks, they cannot stand the high vibrational frequency resonance in a person. That is just something they absolutely cannot tolerate. So again, sonics and vibrational frequency have a lot to do with this. There's just a few ways that I pointed out on how you can spot someone suffering in this way, and some things that really affect them and can ultimately drive these intrusive energies, we'll say, out of that person, right? With enough prolonged exposure and sincerity, right? And intention. All right. I may touch back on this subject again in another time. But for now, I hope that was enlightening and helpful to anyone who may be dealing with an individual or individuals like that in their environment, in your cipher. If or some other way coming across individuals who are compromised in that way, I hope that this video was indeed helpful for that. All right. As usual, I love you and I thank you all. Please, let's continue to build the worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell everybody you know. Tell some folks you don't know. Big King Sadiq, I love you all. True indeed. And I'm out.